Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live for another edition of the QT Bible Study, the live quiet time Bible study that we do here every morning on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram up here. Got you all over the place. Hey, Clancy, good morning. You're on it this morning. Hi, Rosemary, Julie on YouTube. Good to see you. Jason, Monica, Sarah, Mark. Good to see you guys this morning. Hi, Hendel. Glad you're all here this morning. Johnny is in the house. Dominique on YouTube. Big Joe. Hey, Big Joe. And Debbie, Fox Rocks. Debbie, it was kind of boring last night, huh? Did you see the looks that David gave everybody? You want to see a picture of bitterness? Just unhealthy bitterness. David, who got kicked off Survivor last week, just tried to stare down everybody in this bitter way. It's too bad. Hi, Pamela. Morning, Shelly and Tom, Christy, Joyce and Liz. Good to see you guys. Hi, Martha and Rev Rob. Yeah, I'm rooting for Joe too. He's such a competitor. I can't imagine he's going to stay, but that's what we decided, is that Joe's our guy. Hopefully he'll make it. Morning, Jake. Boy, I got all kinds of coast stuff going on, Jake. I'm dying to go fishing. If I can get away next few days, I'm going to try to go down there. I was asked yesterday to perform a wedding on the beach, Port Aransas, the end of May, the end of this month. So we'll get to go down and spend a weekend. And I'm doing a wedding, my birthday. Marty's trying to plan a time for us to go down with the family to the beach before it gets 400 degrees. Get to do some fishing while we're down there. For sure. All right. Anybody got anything? Or do we need to get started? Let's get started. Mark chapter 10. Mark chapter 10, verse 32. Mark chapter 10, verse 32. My birthday's June 7th. By the way, this year, please, you guys, don't buy me anything. I have everything I need and want. Y'all always go overboard and buy me stuff, and I appreciate that, but don't buy me anything. Just tell me how much you love me. Yeah, my birthday's June 7th next month. So, all right. Looks like we got everybody. Let's go. Mark chapter 10, verse 32. Jesus, I know Clancy. Thanks, brother. Clancy, I glued together. Sorry, side note. I glued together some Corian this morning. I ordered some Corian glue, and it got here. I got to looking at it. It's super glue, is all it is. And it says for stone and Corian and things like that, but it was super glue, is all of the CA glue. Is all it was. So there's probably some other product out there, but it advertises for Corian. Interesting. Now I've glued it together. We'll see how it goes. For sure. All right. Mark chapter 10, verse 32. Jesus again, I don't know how many times, third time, tells his disciples what's going to happen. Y'all remember whenever we read for the Easter story, read the end of it, everybody seemed so surprised or not on board or understanding that he was going to be resurrected. He's going to die at the hands of the Jews are going to reject him, turn him over to the Gentiles. Gentiles are going to crucify him. He's going to die. And 3 days later, I will rise again. He says it over and over again. He's fixing to say it again. And yet they still didn't quite understand. Whenever it all happened, it seemed like they were like, no, surely not. Or coming to the tomb to do the burial rites. I just don't understand. Maybe it was different language back then, but here we go. And they were on the road going up to Jerusalem. That's important. And Jesus was walking on ahead of them, and they were amazed, and those who followed were fearful. All right, let me explain what that means. This is very important to understand the history and the story and the layout of what's happening with Jesus. Jesus has been ministering not in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the hub. Jerusalem is where all the Pharisees were. Jerusalem is where all the people were. Jerusalem was the worship center of all of Israel. Jesus has stayed away from Jerusalem. He's ministered in Capernaum and Judea and all these areas around Jerusalem, but he hasn't been in Jerusalem. Why? Because he knows that when he goes to Jerusalem, that's when they're going to kill him. That's when they're going to arrest him and crucify him. So he's stayed away, and everybody knows that for Jesus, the one claiming to be Messiah, goes into Jerusalem, they're going to be on him like you know what. They're going to go boom, and just immediately, go after him, try to arrest him and crucify him. And so Jesus has been ministering, and now he turns his attention to Jerusalem up on the hill. It's a 2,500 foot ascent up to Jerusalem. Jerusalem was strategically up on a hill so it could see all of its enemies approaching and everything else. That's why you ascend to Jerusalem. You ascend. David had ascension psalms that you would say on your trek up to Jerusalem to go worship and be with God in the temple in Jerusalem. Jesus now turns his attention to Jerusalem, up to Jerusalem, and it says that he's headed up to Jerusalem, and he's walking ahead, and everyone was amazed and feared, it says. They were fearful. Why? Because that's not good. Don't go to Jerusalem, Jesus. It's bad Scoobies to go to Jerusalem. You're going to get in trouble there. They're going to arrest you there. Don't go to Jerusalem. It's dangerous in Jerusalem for you and for all the followers. If I'm a follower of Jesus, it's dangerous in Jerusalem. So they were amazed that he was going to Jerusalem and fearful about going to Jerusalem. And again, he took the 12 disciples aside and he began to tell them what was going to happen to him. Jesus lays out again for them what's going to happen to them. Him, verse 33, behold, we're going up to Jerusalem. And the Son of Man, that's me, he speaks in third person again. Anybody ever figure out why he speaks in third person? Anybody have an opinion of why he's speaking in third person about himself? Behold, we're going up to Jerusalem. Verse 33, and the Son of Man, me, Jesus, the Messiah, the Christ, will be delivered to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him. They will condemn him to death. And they will deliver him to the Gentiles, the Romans, right? King Herod put him down. Deliver him to the Gentiles. And they will mock him, spit on him, scourge him, and they will kill him. And 3 days later, he will rise again. 3 days later, He will rise again. Very clear, right? Seems pretty obvious. Maybe in their language it was confusing somehow. He's speaking in third person. I don't really understand or know what that's all about. But again, for the third time, whenever we get to that part, you'll remember it seems confusing that they were confused or they didn't understand or whatever. Pamela says maybe sometimes his speaking is taken over directly by God. Maybe so. Maybe this was direct revelation from God talking about the Messiah, who happens to be Jesus. All right. So he predicts his future here in that little section. Let's keep going. Verse 35. Now, let's do a little application today. Let's do a little let's do a little how does this apply to me part of the section. And the application is going to be here, attitude of gratitude. Are you a giver or a taker? Are you a server or be served? Do you think about yourself all the time, or do you think of others? Not in others in way of what they think of you. That's thinking about you. Do you think about giving, serving? I watch Marty. She is on her computer till 9 o'clock at night, filling out Bible orders and talking to kids. This morning, I went in to tell her good morning, gave her a kiss. She turned her phone on and went ding, 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 because every human in Kenya is messaging her overnight because it's daytime during the night over in Kenya. She serves and serves and serves, and she goes to work. She leaves here at 8 in the morning and goes to Seguin or San Antonio to the schools and services the deaf kids. She's gone all day long. She works hard. She gets home at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. I've gotten where I try to give her dinner, have dinner ready whenever she's hungry. So I try to make some dinner because I'm work from home. I have more time. And then she's she'll go for a walk and water her stuff. But man, she's right on serving and serving and serving and texting back and forth with you guys in Kenya, Africa. It's a servant mindset. Are you a giver, server, or are you a taker? Do you wait for what everybody's going to do for you? Do you need everybody to treat you a certain way? Do you think about how you're feeling all day? Do you think about what you need all day? Verse 35. I've set that up pretty good. And James and John, sons of thunder. Thunder, thunder, thunder. The sons of thunder. The two sons of Zebedee. Love these guys. They're out of place here, but I love these guys. They came up to Jesus and they say to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." What? Teacher, Jesus, Messiah, God, I want you to do for me whatever I ask of you. Does anybody have that attitude? Man, I can't believe that's what they said. He said, he played along like Jesus does. He played along. What do you want me to do for you then? What is it that you want me to do for you? What's so important that you want me to do it for you? And they said to him, "Grant that we may sit in your glory, one on your right and one on your left." The Chosen movie makes this out to be that their mother was the one feeding them this information, feeding them this, go do this, go do that. I don't know. I don't think you need a mother to do that. I think it's in our nature to want the glory, to want to sit at the right hand of God, the right and the left hand of God. They probably are the ones that were instigating this conversation earlier. Remember, of who's the greatest, and Jesus rebuked them for discussing who's the greatest. And Jesus already said, the least shall be last. Those who seek to be first shall be last. The last shall be first. And here they are again. We want Jesus. We want me and my bro here. We want to sit at your right hand and your left hand. We want to be special. You know, it's in your nature to want to be special. It's in your nature to want to be valued by somebody. It's in your nature to want to be cared about, thought about. You know what? One of the deepest human needs we have is to be known. I just want to be known by somebody. I want somebody to ask me if Marty and I are ever struggling with marriage, and we kind of sit down and talk about, gosh, what's going on? Almost always, she'll come back around to, you know, you haven't been asking me about my day. You haven't been asking me what I do. You don't even know what I do all day, sort of thing. She craves for me to know her, to ask her good questions. And sometimes I drop the ball at that. I try to do it, but because I know it's so important, and I'm a marriage counselor. But she craves to be known. She wants me to know how she feels, but she doesn't want to tell me. She wants me to ask how she's feeling about things. What's going on? She's having a major surgery in June, and she wants me to ask her how she's feeling about this surgery. And if you know, she'll share with you about it. Don't ask. She'll share with you about it if she wants to. But to be known. It's in our human nature to want to feel important. But I think this went further than just wanting to be known. This was pridefully wanting a place of status, pridefully wanting a place of honor, I think. By the way, Breckenridge, August 1st through the 6th. For sure the weekend, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Breckenridge, Colorado. I'm booking our hotel, our condo this morning. It's going to happen. Be there. Please let me know if you want to go. Please come. Make it a point. Come and fellowship Breckenridge this August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then you can stay the whole week and we'll do stuff, hang out all week and do stuff. They wanted a place of position. Grant that we may sit in your glory, one on your right hand, one on your left hand. Jesus says to them, but Jesus said to them, dude, you don't know what you ask. You're asking in the flesh, but you don't know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink? You want to be like me? Arnold Palmer, they interviewed Arnold Palmer, and he tells the story about this late in his career. You know, the greatest golfer to ever live, Arnold Palmer, greatest golfer to ever live. And he tells the story about this kid, young 21-year-old golfer, comes up to him and says, I want to be just like you. I want to be just like you, just like James and John did with Jesus. Jesus, we want to be like you. We want to sit equivalent with you, to your left and to your right. We want to be on the same level, so to speak, with you. This kid comes up to Arnold Palmer. I want to be like you. And Arnold Palmer kind of quietly and gently looks at him and says, okay, then get up every morning at 5 o'clock, hit 1,000 golf balls before breakfast, like I do, until your hands bleed. And then come back later in the day and hit another 1,000 range balls. with bloody, sore, hurting hands until your back hurts so bad you can't stand up. Then you can be like me. He was saying, I know you want to be like me, but do you want to sacrifice like me? Are you willing to hurt like me? Are you willing to give it up like me? We all want to be a good Christian. Are you willing to do what it takes to be a good Christian? I know, James and John, you want to be like me, but you don't know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink or be baptized with the baptism which I am baptized? That's not water baptism. That's what he's fixing to go through. And he just said it already. I'm going to be mocked, spit on, scourged, and killed 3 days later. Now, both of them did. One of them was exiled. John was exiled. James was martyred. So they did have sacrificial lives. But they said to him that we are able. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, Jesus, we'll do that. And Jesus said to them, the cup that I drink, you shall drink. Yep, you will be martyred like me, and you shall be baptized. You'll go through the hardships that I'm going to go through, which I am baptized. He said, but to sit on my right hand and my left hand, this is not mine to give, but it is for those whom it has been prepared. Anybody have a note? Who was it? Who is it prepared for? It's not mine to give. It's for whoever's been prepared for. I think people say Moses and Elijah. I'm not sure. Does anybody have a note on who he means there whenever he said for those whom it has been prepared, or did he even know for whom it had been prepared to sit at his right and his left hand in heaven in glory? He's basically saying, no, guys, don't worry about that. And he's going to rebuke them here in just a minute. Nobody's got a note. I'm curious. I don't know the answer to it. I don't know the answer to it, but Jesus says, I'm not going to tell you that. And then he goes on to make his point, and this is where we're going to end today. He goes on to make his point. Verse 41, and hearing this, the 10 begin to feel indignant with James and John. The other disciples are like, dude, you guys are killing us. They were indignant. Or anybody got a different word there, how they felt towards James and John? They began to feel frustrated with or resentful toward James and John for being this way. And calling them to himself, Jesus said to them, and here's the lesson. David and Paul, speculation, Hindle says maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Maybe John the Baptist, but displeased. The others became displeased. Yeah, Jesus then sets them down and says, you know, here it is. Here's the lesson for today. Displeased. Gotcha. Here's what we're going to take away today. You know, Jesus says, that those who are recognized as rulers of the Gentiles lord over them, and their great men exercise authority over them. But it is not so among you. This is one of the reasons why we don't think Peter was the first pope. You don't exercise authority. One of you doesn't exercise authority over the other. See, Jesus is breaking up a fight right here. Hey, Dad, good morning. Jesus was breaking up a fight. The disciples against James and John, and Jesus steps in and says, none of you have authority over anybody else. None of you are more special than anybody else. You're all special, right? You're all valuable in Christ. Not one of you has more authority. But it is not so among you, but whoever wishes to become great among you shall be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you, you shall be a slave to all. When you seek to be first, hear this. He says, when you seek to be first, you become a slave to all. Play that out with me really quickly. What does that look like? Someone who seeks to be first, someone who seeks to be prettiest, someone who seeks to be most wealthy, someone who seeks to be most intelligent, someone who seeks to be most valued, you end up becoming a slave to those that you seek that approval from. You become enslaved to what they think about you. You become enslaved to the obsession of wealth. You become enslaved to the obsession with beauty or possessions. You become a slave to whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you seek, always trying to impress. Yeah. That's good, TTG. What profits a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? Yeah, we just read that. Great lesson. Don't be a slave to your fleshly desires. Don't be a slave to what people think. Don't be enslaved whenever you seek to be first, like Jesus says. Don't give the world that kind of power over you. I tell clients to others, I tell clients all the time who come in and just say, well, because my husband does this, I do this. I'm miserable because of my wife. I'm miserable because of my work, my boss, my coworkers. I'm miserable because of the government, because of who's president. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. And I'll have to look at them and say, you are giving humans way too much power. They get to decide how you feel today. Do you really want to give your spouse the power to decide how you're going to feel today? Do you want to give your children, your coworkers, your boss? Do you want to give the government the power in your life to decide how you're going to feel today? No. Stop giving other people that kind of power. You get to decide how you feel today. Christ gets to decide how you feel today. Don't let people of the world decide how you're going to feel today. What is your emotional status? And it's become, you become a slave to them if it's all about what do other people think, what are they going to do to me, blah, blah, blah. What do they think of me, blah, blah, blah. You've given them the power to decide how you're going to feel today. Very unhealthy. You're miserable because of you, Ashley says. That's good. It's not someone else's fault that you're miserable, that you're unhappy, that you're complaining, that you're whining. It's not someone else's fault. Stop blaming everybody else. You have the power to decide how you feel. It's none of your business what people think of you. Ulala says. We decide how we're going to show up today. Preach, Debbie says. I say that about my work all the time. You can only control your reaction. Yep. Well, Jesus says, whoever wishes to be first among you will be a slave to all. Then he ends with verse 45. Powerful, verse 45. For even the Son of Man, me, did not come to be served. The most important person in the world did not come to be served. And to get, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. That is our calling. I came to serve and give my life as a ransom for many. He's literally talking about losing his life for many. But to serve, Jesus came to serve. He came to give himself up for others. This is what brings us joy. This is what will bring you, it's better to give than receive. This is what will bring you hope and joy and happiness. How about even to give his life as a ransom for many who scourged him? Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Jesus gave his life for the very people that were crucifying him? Can you be a servant and giving towards even those who are unpleasant, unnice? Is that a word? Unnice? Not nice. Unkind. Did you come to serve? So Jamie's asked the question, when you're serving, when is it good to remember ourselves? Well, I think that you have to have healthy boundaries. See, some of you who I'm very dear friends with, some of you have the problem of over serving, over giving, and maybe down deep it has to do with the approval you get back for that. I don't know. There's different reasons why people do it. So you have to have healthy boundaries of what you should do, what you could do, what God really wants you to do, not just do everything all the time for other people so that you get praise back or so that you don't get yelled at. Some of you do that to avoid tension. Some of you do it to not upset anybody. It's not healthy to overserve or be an over helper or an over giver. Some of you are over givers. And I love that. If you're going to fault on one side of it, fault on that side. But it's not healthy. You got to have good boundaries with how much enough is enough. When is it healthy for me to say, sorry, I can't call you back right now? Or no, I can't. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. You have to learn to say no. But some of you struggle with just thinking about yourself and what others are going to do for you. And you're a slave to what other people think. And it goes both ways. Just don't be on either extreme. Yeah, I call them over helper, Clancy, over helpers. Some people are over helpers where they'll try to help you with something that you didn't ask for help with and actually don't want help with. But they think you need help anyway, even though you said, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that. They'll not respect your boundary and they'll help you anyway, thinking you don't really know what you need. So I'm going to do for you what you don't even know what you need. That's called an over helper. Don't do that. Sissy says, now, Steve, you know who you are. Yeah, you do. You guys know who you are. You know the ones. And I think I know most of you. I've had conversations and kind of have a beat on most of you guys out there. I'm thinking of names every time I'm talking about a subject like that, for sure. Don't be an over helper. Also, don't be a selfish thinker. We have come to serve and to give our life as ransom for many. So Jesus did, so we should too. Be a giver and don't give other people power. Yeah. Sissy gives these eyes. If I said yes to everything, I'd end up in the loony bin. So true. Man, I'm telling you. The Levitt House has an awful lot of need coming into it. A lot of people hurting, a lot of needs in Africa, lots of needs coming in. And I would love to give everything I make away. I would love to give my counsel away free, but I have to make a living, right? South Dakota chick says that I always feel selfish when I say no. And that's not healthy, right? You gotta be able to say no sometimes to what is healthy boundaries. And saying yes all the time sometimes is harming that person asking for help. There's times whenever I don't respond because I need you to figure it out yourself. I need you to not be lazy, or I need you to grow a healthy brain mentality about resolving that between you and God, not Steve Levitt resolving that for you all the time. Not Steve Levitt always fixing that. I do this with my kids. I won't always help them because I want them to learn to help themselves. Hey, Tom, good morning. So anyway, I did it my way. All right, let's close in prayer. We're out of time. Lord, thank you for loving us. Thank you for dying as a ransom for all of us. Lord, thank you that you came to serve and to give yourself for my soul, for my salvation. Lord, help us to be like you. Help us to be Christ-like and to serve and to give. Help us to have healthy boundaries. And Lord, help us to not be a slave to what the world thinks, to what the world wants. Help us to not be a slave to the world's approval, to find our value in people. Lord, help us to find our value in you. Thank you for this beautiful time we get to spend together every morning. For it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right. Questions, comments, thoughts? Anybody? When I learned God's priorities for my life as defined in Proverbs and Titus, saying no was a much easier Genesis. Good. Codependency kicks in. Yeah, got to be careful with that for sure. I had someone begging me to make cookies in less than 24 hours. I can, but it would add extra stress to my life. Is it worth it? Is it worth time away from my kids? Is it worth the lack of sleep? I gave her a quote for the amount of money that would make it worth it for my time. She said no. Perfect. Perfect, Ashley. Woo! Ric Flair style. Yep. You got it, Dominique. Jesus himself knew when to say when. He went off to pray and recharge. Great point, Robert. Even Jesus had boundaries. You've blessed my day. See you tomorrow morning. Rosemary, you bet. Mike, thanks, brother. Y'all go like Mike's page, the Travis Burkhart Foundation, Mike Burkhart. Y'all need to follow that page. He puts out great stuff. Very good stuff. Douglas, you're welcome, brother. Have a great day. Choo-choo. Train engineer, Mr. Douglas. Jory, thanks, brother. Have a good day. Thanks, Big Joe. Pam, you're welcome. All righty. Sissy's going to be chewing on that today. Chewing on her cud today. That's good. Amazing family here, Greg Young. Amen. Good folks. TBF. Order some t-shirts too. Travis Burkhart Foundation. Go order. Mike, I was telling you, the new t-shirts, super cool. Mike's got some new t-shirts out. Super cool. Boom chakalaka, Joe. Boom chakalaka. Good stuff. All right, Brandy. You have a good day too. Yolanda, thanks. Tim, good to see you. Tomorrow we'll pick up verse 46. The blind Bartimaeus. Fun. Good stuff tomorrow. Director of Women's Walk to Emmaus. Awesome, Sissy. Sissy's going to be the director of the Women's Walk to Emmaus. That's awesome. Yes, South Texas. We had a thunderstorm last night. We need rain. And we had a thunderstorm coming at us. And just before it got to us on the radar, it goes and splits, and the sun came out. Unbelievable. We needed the rain so bad. And here it comes. We're sitting here hunkering down. We're ready for it to come. And it goes, whoop, nope, not today, boss. And it splits and goes right around us. My son is Sealy. Hey, Sealy. Good to see you this morning. Your son is in Sealy, Texas. I don't know where Sealy, Texas is. I know almost every town in Texas. I don't know where Sealy is. We're in South Texas, east of San Antonio. 125-acre ranch back here. Beautiful. We got a creek that runs through, Spring Creek, and then we're on the Cibolo River back there. Any other questions, comments? Same happened to Handle in Austin. I-10 west towards Houston. Should have known. the area I know the least. Well, I don't know far East Texas, and I don't know Big Bend area, West Texas, Big Bend area. I don't know any of that. Yep. The rainforest field. Yeah. We have a dome over us here. A lot of times it just goes around us. Great message. Have a great day. All right, Katie, you too. Brandy said it missed us too. Yep. May 1st. Years flying by. Amen. All right. Hope you guys have a super terrific, great day today. Keep on keeping on. I love all of y'all. I love this. Do y'all know that I love doing this? This isn't a labor of love. This isn't a big servitude thing for me. I get out of this. This feeds me to do this with you guys every morning. I really love getting together and doing this every morning. Just makes my day. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. Please come to Breckenridge. August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for sure. And then we'll be there the whole rest of the week till Friday. Breckenridge, Colorado. We'll do some ventures. We'll fish. We'll go up to Peak 8 and ride the rides, do the fun stuff. We'll go hiking. Y'all will go hiking, Marty, hopefully. We can get on the lake and kayak and boat if we want to. Shop. So much to do in Breckenridge, Colorado. Most beautiful time of the year. We can go over to Vail. There's a really cool Vail over there. Just go to Frisco and listen to live music. It's all right there at Breckenridge. So cool. Come hang out in Breckenridge, Colorado with us. It's our fellowship get together for the year at Breckenridge, Colorado, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So make your plans. The QT time is wonderful. Yes, Handel. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I was fine with Star. I was really wishing, Debbie, last night that it was Mary. I don't know why they didn't do Mary. Why do you think they did Star rather than Mary? I would have thought it would have been Mary. It should have been Mary. And I think they're going to regret it because she's going to stir everything up moving forward. She may win it. They should have got rid of her last night. Star didn't. Yeah, say Mary next week, but we'll see. Yeah, Survivor Talk. Thanks, Mark. Love you guys. See ya. $260 folks on TikTok today. Bink. Bink. Come on. There we go. 376. There's Dane calling me. 376 comments on TikTok today. See you guys.